Amazing new discovery. Fossil clue found to ancient clash between shark and pteranodon. This is by New Staff Science News. In a paper in the journal PeerJ, paleontologists report finding a shark tooth embedded in an 80 million year old cervical vertebrae of the large flying reptile called Pteranodon. This was published in December 20th, just a few days ago. This is an image of life reconstruction of an 8.2 foot, that's 2.5 meter long, breaching Cretoxyrina mantelli biting the neck of a 16.5 foot, that's 5 meter long wingspan Pteranodon longiceps. The predatory behavior of this scene is speculative with respect to the data offered by an 80 million year old specimen, but reflects the fact that Cretoxyrina is generally considered a predatory species. The vast weight advantage of the shark against the pterosaur, that is the ancient bird type creature, and the juvenile impulse of the artist to draw the explosive predatory scene. This is by Mark Witton. So in the late Cretaceous epoch, North America, over 80 million years ago, was divided by a giant waterway called the Western Interior Seaway. It was a biologically prolific region from the Gulf of Mexico to Canada. Some of the world's best fossils from this time are found there, including the Smoky Hill Chalk region of Kansas, where this newly discovered fossil was found. The specimen was excavated in the 1960s and kept in the Los Angeles County Natural History Museum before University of Southern California's Dr. Michael Habib and colleagues plucked it from a display for further study. The scientists were intrigued by the embedded shark tooth because of the more than 1,100 species of pteranodon, a large pterodactyloid pterosaur from the late Cretaceous of North America. Only 7 or less than 1% show evidence of predator-prey interaction. Pteranodons were masters of the sky. These gigantic flying reptiles abounded when dinosaurs walked the earth. They sported a conspicuous crested skull, had a wingspan of 18 feet, and weighed about 100 pounds. They could travel long distances, land and take off in water, and of course they liked to feast on fish. I guess we can imagine them as being giant pelican type of fish. So the Cretaceous oceans were a dangerous place to linger for these creatures. Under the waves lurked big flesh-eating reptiles and of course sharks. But which sea monster killed it? And how did it happen? And why was the neck bone intact? First, the paleontologists had to rule out the shark tooth, about 1 inch long, was not randomly stuck in the pteranodon vertebrae, perhaps had both been deposited in a prehistoric boneyard at the same time. They found that the tooth was stuck between ridges in the neck vertebrae, which was clear evidence of a bite. The tooth belonged to a large mackerel shark called Cretoxyrina mantelli. This particular predator was large, fast, and powerful. It was about 8 feet long and roughly comparable in appearance and behavior to today's great white shark, though it was not closely related. Second, the team wondered why the evidence of attack was preserved at all. Typically, heavy shark bites utterly shattered pterosaur bones, leaving little trace, but in this instance the tooth just happened to get stuck on a particularly bony part of the neck, which led to the fortuitous fossil. Such a fossil discovery is so rare that this is the first documented occurrence of this shark species interacting with a pterosaur. Third, while the researchers may never know exactly what happened, it's possible the attack occurred when the pteranodon was most vulnerable, sprawled atop the water. While pteranodon could land and take off on the water, they were ungainly at sea and took considerable time to take off. Dr. Habib said, understanding the ecology of these animals is important to understanding life on Earth through time. There are sharks today that hunt seabirds. Yes, there are. Is that unique, or have big sharks been hunting flying creatures for millions of years? The answer is yes, they have. We now know sharks are hunting flying animals as long as 80 million years. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events, events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.